Welcome back, everyone. John Jones has made the news again somehow. I was gonna do my full card predictions for Macy Barber versus Aaron Blanchfield today. I was in the research. I was watching a Ryan Dos Santos fight. I was watching a Ryan Amanda Dos Santos fight, and then I go on my phone and I look and I see. I've been seeing this shit for the entire week, man, and I've been holding my tongue. But it's been each one of these has been pushing me closer and closer to my boiling point, man. Fight Tom Aspinall, you fucking idiot! Who do you think you are, man? John Jones is telling Tom Aspinall to shut up and do as you're told. Who do you think you are? This guy, he's the interim champion of the world. In what fucking... In any other division, this would not happen. If this was anyone else, this would not happen. Why does John Jones get to dictate this? It doesn't make sense to me. He still has his brainwashed fans in the comments, man, making dumbass comments like, this guy's kind of funny joke. John thinks he can talk to everybody the way he talks to his wife. Kind of a funny way to spin this. But you got his fucking dumbass fans. He can. Who's gonna stop him? He can. I mean, he will beat you up if you try him, kid. He'll do fucking nothing. He's literally lollygagging around with some ladyboys in Thailand, having some fucking... He's rubbing around with them in a pool, man. Like, what the fuck is this? This makes me sick to my stomach seeing him fucking get thrown around in a pool like this shit. This is fucking weird. This is your guy that's gonna beat up anyone? He won't even sign a contract against the next best guy in the division who's an interim champion. Who's an interim champion, That is the fucking way we do this thing. A champion wins a belt. He doesn't defend for a while. They make an interim. Whoa, that champion now has to fight the interim champion. That's how it works, It's not a fucking foreign concept. I'm not making this shit up. Tom Aspinall stepped up and saved MSG in 2023. People forget that. Tom Aspinall stepped up on a week's notice against Sergey Pavlovich? And what the fuck did he do to him? Oh. And Jones is scared for his life, man. He's fucking fighting 43-year-olds instead of this guy. And just every page online, man, I swear to God, they're all engagement farming. It's all just like... Oh my God, the Westel death is the worst about it, John Jones filming in Thailand, coming back to start training in November. He's fucking with y'all crybaby bitches. People are acting like this is completely deserved and it makes sense, and it's like, yeah, John Jones gets to wait around for 2 whole years while the interim champion of the world, who's in his prime right now and getting ran out of his prime right now on the fucking sidelines because he can't fight anyone else. And you got, this makes a lot of sense. What? That's my goat. That's my goat. Nobody can touch this guy. Nobody can touch him because he won't sign a contract to get touched. Ayo. He's fucking pricing himself out. You got to offer me $50 million to fight Tom Aspinall. Nobody's ever been offered that in the UFC. You know that. That's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. And this is where it started at the start of the week. I had this amazing clip where I said,
I think it's going to be made for UFC 322 at MSG. I think they're just holding off on announcing it at this point because they kind of have their schedule.
Great take by the genie, man. He says, it's going to happen, UFC 322 MSG. And the moment that fucking clip gets posted, I swear to God, Jones had to see it, and then he starts fucking joking about retirement. Make the fight. If you're going to joke about retirement, retire. If you're joking about retirement, give the belt up. You don't get to fucking sit on the fence, You don't get to pretend you're going to retire and pretend you're going to fucking fight and do both at the same time while you're still holding the division up, man. You got to do something. I swear to God, this is one of the worst situations, This is absolute... This is terrible. This is fucking sidelining an entire division. There's no movement. in the heavyweight division now. We have no idea who's next up for the champion. There's a clear contender that might not get the champion, that might have to defend his belt again. It's all a fucking mess. It's all a mess. And it's because Jon Jones is too scared to fight this guy. And there's some stupid fucking articles framing the situation the same as the Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler situation. Like Tom Aspinall's just in it for money. You know? That's how they're framing this. Like Tom Aspinall just wants the money fight. He's the champion of the world. He's the goddamn champion of the world, man. He's the interim champion of the world. He deserves a shot against the undisputed champion of the world. He's nearly been interim champion for 2 years come November. And that is months away. But we're nearly 2 years from that fucking point, man. It's coming up. It's coming up fast. And Tom Aspinall, no end in sight for when his interim championship reign ends. You know, no end in sight. There's no matchup for him. He's just sitting on the sideline, not fighting. You know, making videos, making his funny little, he's a duck. All those fucking stupid skits, man. I understand it, though. What else is he supposed to do? Literally, what else is he supposed to do other than just make some videos online? He can't... Is he supposed to go fight other people in the division? That's the undisputed title holder's job. To defend the belt. An interim... He already defended his interim belt. Why would he go and defend it against Cyril Gahn, who doesn't even deserve a title shot? Why would he go defend it against anyone else in heavyweight when he deserves the undisputed title shot? And Jones... Listen... The fucking idea that this fight is the same as Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler is absolutely hilarious. Because Tom Aspinall is the interim title holder of the heavyweight division, which automatically earns him a shot at the undisputed championship belt. The only reason Michael Chandler wanted that fight against McGregor was for money. That's not the same situation at all. Tom Aspinall saved an event. He stepped up on like a week's notice to fight Sergey Pavlovich, knocked him out, and won the belt. And then he defended it against Curtis Blades. Is that like... It's a fucking joke, man. The UFC's a joke. And Jones is the only fighter in history that is... He has the biggest and best plot armor of all time. This guy could do anything. And he'll still have his stupid fucking brain-dead idiot fans defending him, making reasons why it's okay. Listen, if an NBA star fucking hit a pregnant lady in a car and ran away, he would never play basketball again in his life. If the best fucking NHL player made the news headlines for beating his wife and his kid has to call the cops on him, if that was the headline for an NHL superstar, that dude's never seen the ice again. But Jon Jones gets to do all of this, and he's still regarded as the best fighter of all time in the UFC. There's no blacklisting, there's nothing. We'll all just turn a blind eye for that Rocky night in Vegas, I want to say, where he's fleeing the hotel room. We're all just going to pretend that didn't happen. You know, and I get it. Oh, they're separating the sport from this personal life. At a certain point, man, what are you separating? His entire career is steroid use. You know, failed test after failed test after failed test, and people are still pretending like he's the best fighter of all time when all these other fighters are successfully passing these drug tests, most of them. I'm not saying there isn't people that cheat, but Jones is allowed to cheat, and he's allowed to be regarded as the greatest fighter of all time. I'm just making a point. If anyone else in another sport did anything that Jon Jones did, they would be blacklisted within the day. You know, you would never hear their name again. Jon Jones, man, stripped of light heavyweight title in 2015, stripped of light heavyweight title in 2016, stripped of light heavyweight title in 2017, vacated title in 2020. It's just a fucking mess. And Jon Jones, you know, he became the youngest fighter of all time through opportunity. He didn't get that through magic, you know. He stepped up short notice against Shogun Rua when his teammate stepped out, you know. His teammate had to pull out Rashad Evans, and he stepped up and he won the title. The only reason he's the youngest fighter of all time is through opportunity. So him not giving the same opportunity to Tom Aspinall is kind of ironic, don't you think? When he also was 30 years old fighting a 38-year-old Daniel Cormier, he's now 38 and doesn't want to fight the 31-year-old Tom Aspinall. Isn't that ironic, you know? And man, this part of the video, this is just for anyone that thinks that Jones' career isn't as bad as I'm making it out to seem. I'm going to go through this article on ESPN, and I'm going to just, we're going to go through it together. And we're going to see the privilege Jon Jones has got in his career, that he now does not want to reciprocate back to Tom Aspinall. Let's go through it together. Let's see what Jon Jones gets throughout his entire career. You know, Jones makes his professional MMA debut. He will fight again 1 week later. Less than 4 months after his pro debut, he has a 6-0 record, and he makes his first fight in the UFC as a replacement on 2 weeks' notice, and he wins. And then, you know, we lost to Matt Hamill, the illegal shots, whatever. It all doesn't matter. Jones steps up on short notice, replaces Rashad Evans. He was given that opportunity to become the youngest fighter, the youngest champion in history, should I say. He was given that opportunity, and he won. You know, good job to Jones. He beat Shogun Rua, who was an old man at the time. Jones is taken into custody. A traffic stop reveals he's on a suspended license. That's not a bad charge. You know, it's not compared to what he does in the future. It's not a bad charge. I would never drive on a suspended license, but you know, Jones, that's no issue to him. Jones wraps his Bentley around a utility pole in New York and is taken into custody after refusing a sobriety test. Jones signs a worldwide sponsorship deal with Nike. Same year, pleads to a DUI. Jones incurs the wrath of Dana White after refusing to accept a short notice replacement bout with Chael Sonnen. So that's just an early representation of his character. You know, Jon Jones, he will take the opportunity, but he will not help you out if there's an opportunity that, you know, they ask you to help him out. Jones, we need your help. You know, you could save an event. No, fuck you. That's the first ever pay-per-view canceled by the UFC. So that's kind of funny. That was a big moment when they had to cancel a full pay-per-view because of Jon Jones. Accused of writing homophobic slurs to a Swedish fan on Instagram, and Jon Jones says his phone was stolen and an account hacked. That's believable. You know, the situation where he pushed Daniel Cormier. I have no issue with that. That was a cool moment for the UFC. You know, they're in a hotel. You know, I would absolutely kill you if you did something like that. It was a cool moment. That got a lot of people's eyes on it, you know? That was a cool moment. Jones is featured on Forbes magazine's 30 Under 30 list of brightest young stars in the sport. A day after, Jones' public image takes a massive hit as he tested positive for a metabolite in cocaine. So that's a good that's a good look for the brand. You know, a day after Forbes puts you on the brightest young stars list, you have to check yourself into a rehab center. I'm not trying to make fun of Jon Jones. This is to highlight his character. So let me continue. Jones checks out of the rehab facility after one night. Jones checks out of the rehab facility after one night in the facility. I don't know about that one, buddy. I'm not a cocaine addict by any means. I just made a dumb decision and got caught. Yeah. Jones is involved in a hit and run in Albuquerque that injures the pregnant woman and flees the scene. Guess he didn't want to get caught in that one. Jones pleads guilty to a charge of leaving the scene. He's sentenced to 18 months of probation. Jones violates probation. He was cited by police on 5 charges related to drag racing and footage from police body camera footage calling the officer a fucking liar and a pig. Good job, John. Good job. Jones is pulled from a scheduled UFC 200 rematch with Daniel Cormier after being flagged by the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency for a potential doping violation. Oh my. You guys remember the clip of Daniel Cormier stomping on the ground when finding out about that? Dana White comes up and he's like, sorry, kid. And Cormier's like, I will fight. Please let me fight him anyways. Cormier was ready to put his life on the line in the ring, man. I still see people make fun of Daniel Cormier about John Jones, about being salty about it. Like, John Jones didn't ruin Daniel Cormier's career and his chance at being the best light heavyweight ever. You know, he's now not able to be called that because John Jones used steroids. You know, that's why I'm so pissed about this. People regard this guy as the best of all time, and they just close their eyes to all this shit. Like none of it happened. His entire career is cheating. His entire career is cheating. Oh, it's dick pills though. Oh, it's the dick pills. For sure, even though none of those dick pills have ever had turinabol in them. What are we doing? I don't understand why people still turn a blind eye to him. His entire career, man. He comes back after this, and he beats Daniel Cormier by head kick. Beats Daniel Cormier by head kick, because we all know what happened afterwards. He popped again, and the fight became a no contest, and Jones was suspended again for having a banned substance in his system. Whoa, how many is that now? Like, I don't understand why Jones has this privilege, but nobody else gets this privilege, you know? Jones gets to cheat. Jones gets to cheat. But because he's winning, it doesn't matter, you know? He's the best fucking steroid user in history because nobody cares when he does it. Barry Bonds is not regarded as the best, one of the best MLB players, you know? There's a reason for that. It's because he was on steroids. Even though a lot of people back then were on steroids. But people completely take him off the GOAT list because he was caught on steroids. But they do not hold that same standard for John Jones. And it is sickening. I don't even want to read the rest of these, man. Because there's so many. I think I highlighted my point beautifully. John Jones gets special privilege to do what he wants. He was given the shot to be the youngest champion in history, and good on him, he won it. He's now 38, and he doesn't want to give a 30-year-old a title shot that's the interim champion in his division. When he was 30 years old, he was fighting 38-year-olds named Daniel Cormier, and he was using steroids to beat them. Fight Tom Aspinall, man. Quit fucking lollygagging around with some weirdos in a pool in Thailand. This is fucking weird. This is fucking weird, man. Fight Tom Aspinall. Anyways, I'm done. I'm done raging, man. This was the video. John Jones is a fucking pussy. Get rid of him. He doesn't deserve to be at the pinnacle of the sport. He does not deserve to be regarded as the best of all time. And I never will. I will not ever regard him as the best of all time. There is a reason for that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back here for the Aaron Blanchfield versus Macy Barber full card predictions as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.